I love this comic book, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, 1943, Issue 3, Story 2, or Story B. The Baroness's Escape from Reform Island. The Baroness manages to escape from Reform Island without any obvious method and reappears on the mainland. She's more focused than ever on her hatred of Wonder Woman. Back at her desk, Steve is curious as to what Diana is doing. A list of secret agents she has disappears. She wonders if Steve took it. She asks him as he tucks a paper into his bag. When Steve goes to lunch, Diana searches his bag. She finds a sealed envelope, and within it is the list of agents. She switches out a blank list, then becomes Wonder Woman and goes to Steve's lunch club. He's cold to Wonder Woman, and she notices immediately. Mala calls Diana that night on the mental radio and tells her the Baroness has disappeared and they need her help. She immediately goes to her plane and flies to help her friend. Once on Reform Island, she and Mala greet each other. Mala states she should have shackled her. There is no prison yet, as the captives are building it. The island itself is isolated and should be escape-proof. The Baroness's boat is gone, but they detected no ships approaching, and the boat and the Baroness disappeared at different times. All of the slave girls are still there. None have tried to escape the island or their chains. Wonder Woman has brought a brainwave detector to question the girls. The first girl tells her that her mistress is the only one who can fasten her head. She gives away the truth that they all knew the Baroness and had an escape plan. She questions 19 and does not question the last. However, she tries to swipe Wonder Woman's lasso. Wonder Woman is willing to oblige her if she wishes to wrestle with Mala. Instead, Wonder Woman decides to question her. She learns the Baroness used magic as well. She escaped in an invisible boat. Wonder Woman heads out to catch her. While putting her plane on autopilot, she fashions a fake lasso to trap Paula. She ends up at Etta's, and she is surprised. That afternoon, Wonder Woman follows Steve. She thinks he is under the influence of the Baroness. He goes to an apartment building and takes the elevator. Wonder Woman runs up the stairs, timing the elevator to see which floor he gets off at. He's in a room and appears to be alone, but he hands the envelope to someone invisible. The person disappears just as Wonder Woman tries to catch her. The person actually exited and headed to the elevator. The invisible woman leaves a trail, knocking people over, and then steals a car in front of a police officer. Wonder Woman asks the officer about the car and has to explain that she is Wonder Woman. The car turns into a dead end and crashes. Wonder Woman takes cover to avoid being hit by shrapnel. She gets tripped by an invisible foot. The person steals the fake lasso. She taunts Wonder Woman with it to get her to follow. She winds up in the basement, and the Baroness finally reveals herself. She plans to turn Wonder Woman into a slave. She ties her up with her lasso, hands behind her back. She tells her slaves to reveal themselves. She has perfected a portable invisibility machine. Wonder Woman now knows how she escaped from the island. The Baroness begins. Wonder Woman thinks it sounds like ordinary hypnotism. Her eyes are taped open. The picture is now shown to Wonder Woman. She now understands what the slaves meant by printing her picture on their brains. At first, Wonder Woman is able to resist, but the Baroness has the light color changed and it starts to affect her. Meanwhile, Etta is worried about Wonder Woman because she has not heard from her. She comes up with a plan to break into Steve's room to talk to him. When she does, she is shocked by what she sees. She asks about the mental radio. Steve tells her that Wonder Woman gave it to him for Christmas. Etta puts the band on her head, and Wonder Woman is trying to reach her. Steve goes a bit crazy, though, and tries to kill Etta. But before he gets away, she gets him with the real lasso. She gets the truth that the Baroness is controlling him. She tells him to lead her to the Baroness. He doesn't want to, but Aphrodite's power is stronger. Etta and Steve arrive. The Baroness is not happy. Steve is out of her control and demands to know what she is doing to Wonder Woman. He is overcome with anger about what is being done to the woman that he loves, and he tries to attack the Baroness. He manages to destroy her invisibility machine. Etta jumps into the fight as well. The Baroness tries to slip out a door and says it will complete a circuit to blow up the whole building. The laboratory blows up and collapses. Wonder Woman is a bit dazed, but still, until Steve touches her arm. Wonder Woman uses her strength to hold up the ceiling so that everyone can get out of the basement safely. Steve is horrified that he was under the Baroness's spell, and Wonder Woman comforts him. Wow, the Baroness really is a conniving piece of crap. So maybe it was just part of her plan this entire time to get put on Reform Island so that she could figure out and learn some things about the Amazons. I don't know. The fact that she managed to control Steve, put him under her control, that's pretty intense. I don't know what kind of power she has. I kind of figured that Steve, his feelings, his love for Wonder Woman, he couldn't see anything else. No one else could control that or mess with his mind in regards to that. But apparently no. Her invisibility machine? How on earth did this Baroness create an invisibility machine? I mean, I don't think she's doing it herself. I think this has got to be tech that the Nazis are smuggling to her in some way. I don't know how they're getting into the country to smuggle these things to her. But an invisibility machine, an invisible boat, all of these things just continue. And it's just a bit weird and crazy about some of the tech that is being created. You know, she does finally figure it all out. She gets to the bottom of it. But the darn Baroness escapes yet again. You know, at least Etta knows how to use that mental radio that Steve has. And she has the real lasso so she can get the real Steve back. And together they're able to go and find the Baroness, find Wonder Woman, and save the day. So the Baroness blows up that lab as her backup plan and escapes again. And they still must catch her and imprison her again. Thanks for tuning in to the I Love This Comic Book podcast. If you would like to make a donation in support of this podcast, you can through Cash App to Pasta26MC. That's pasta like the food, the number 2, the number 6, M as in monkey, C as in cat. If you would like to sponsor this podcast or advertise on it, please send an email to podcast@pastasworld.com. As always, you can go to pastasworld.com for more information.